I'm just going away for the weekend, Rachel. It's a business meeting. I'll be back by Monday, Jack said with a casual smile. His face looked normal, but there was something in his eyes, an odd tension, like he was hiding something. Rachel stared at him for a moment and then gave a small smile. All right. Drive safe. Jack locked the doors of his Tesla and drove off. But Rachel's heart wasn't so easily convinced. For the past few months, Jack had been acting differently. He wasn't the same. He used to share everything with Rachel, but now he stayed quiet, kept his phone locked, and made excuses to be away on weekends. At first, Rachel ignored it, but today her intuition was screaming at her. Something wasn't right. She pulled out Jack's old laptop, the one that still had a synced Gmail account. Through that account, Rachel accessed the Tesla app and opened the real-time location tracker. A blinking blue dot appeared on the screen, not in Chicago, where Jack claimed to be going, but 300 miles away in a quiet Nashville suburb. Rachel's eyes stayed glued to the phone. He said Chicago. What is he doing in Nashville? Her heart was racing, but Rachel had made up her mind. She had to find out the truth. She called her best friend Tara. Tara, I'm heading out of town for a couple of days. I'm dropping Sam off at Mom's place. If there's an emergency, call me. Tara sounded concerned, but Rachel didn't reveal much. She didn't want to say anything until she knew for sure. The next morning, she packed up and hit the road. It was a 5-hour drive, but Rachel couldn't stop thinking about that blue dot. As she got closer to the location, her curiosity and anger both grew stronger. Finally, she stopped in front of a simple, cozy-looking bungalow. Jack's Tesla was parked right there. Outside the house, she noticed a red bicycle, a basketball lying in the driveway, and a small shadow flickering through the window. Rachel decided not to confront him just yet. She bought binoculars from a nearby cafe, grabbed a coffee, and parked her car across the street to keep watch. 2 hours passed. Then the front door opened. Jack stepped out. He looked casual, t-shirt, jeans, and a grocery bag in hand. But he wasn't alone. A woman in her mid-30s, with curly brown hair, walked out beside him, holding a toddler. They looked so comfortable with each other, like a family. Rachel saw Jack stroke the toddler's hair lovingly, kiss the woman gently on the lips, and say, "I'll miss you, baby." Tears rolled down Rachel's cheeks. Her hands tightened on the steering wheel, legs shaking with disbelief. He's really living another life. Every doubt she ever had was confirmed in that moment. And she made a decision. She wasn't going to stay silent anymore. Rachel didn't waste any time. She had seen enough. Jack, with his second life, was standing right in front of her, but it wasn't just about him. It was about the woman, Melinda, and that toddler. Was that Jack's child? Rachel's mind raced with questions, doubts, and anger. She knew one thing for sure: she wasn't going to walk away without answers. After a few minutes of collecting her thoughts, Rachel made her decision. She couldn't just leave this as it was. She had to confront Melinda. She called Tara again. "Tara, I need your help. I'm going to knock on Melinda's door." Tara, as always, offered support. "I'm here for you. Be careful." Rachel carefully made her way across the street and stood in front of the house. Her heart was pounding, but she knew she had to do this. She rang the doorbell, and after a brief pause, the door opened. A woman in her mid-30s, with short, curly brown hair, appeared. Her eyes widened when she saw Rachel standing there. "Hi, I'm Rachel." "Jack's wife," Rachel said, her voice calm but firm. Melinda's face turned pale at first, then flushed with irritation. She looked Rachel up and down, sizing her up, and then in a slow, almost dismissive voice, she said, "Wife? You're Jack's wife. He told me, His wife died in a car accident years ago. Rachel felt like the ground had been pulled out from under her. What? She whispered. Jack never mentioned that. He's been lying to you too. Melinda's face was hard to read, but she didn't deny it. I've been with Jack for a while now. He's a good man, but I had no idea he was married. I thought he was single. He told me his wife had passed away, and that he was raising our son alone. Rachel's mind spun. The son. Jack's son. Melinda's child. It was too much to process. She didn't want to believe it, but the evidence was there, right in front of her. Melinda, who seemed genuinely shocked and hurt, wasn't just the other woman, she was part of Jack's hidden life. Jack had lied to both of them. Rachel, now determined, said, I need to know everything, Melinda. I need to understand what's going on. This isn't just about me, it's about our lives, our families. Melinda looked down at the ground, as if processing Rachel's words. After a long pause, she sighed. You should know, Jack has been spending weekends with me, while you thought he was working. He's been living a double life for months. But this is beyond anything I thought. I never imagined he was hiding his marriage from me. Rachel felt an overwhelming sense of betrayal, but she also knew that she wasn't alone in this. Both of them were victims of Jack's lies. We're going to get to the bottom of this, Rachel said, her voice filled with a new kind of determination. We'll make him face the truth. Rachel couldn't believe what she had just learned. She was standing there with Melinda, both of them caught in the web of lies Jack had spun. But now, Rachel had made up her mind. She wasn't going to let Jack get away with this, he needed to face the truth, and he would do so in front of both of them. Melinda agreed to help Rachel gather all the information they could find on Jack. Together, they went through his phone records, his bank transactions, his travel history, everything. It was clear that Jack was living two separate lives. Every alternate weekend, he was in Nashville, staying at Melinda's house, while the rest of the time, he was home with Rachel and their kids. It wasn't just the weekends, there were hidden phone calls, secret meetings, and a second email account, all carefully disguised. Rachel discovered a chilling truth, Jack had a second phone. It was registered under a fake name, Jason Cole, and it was used for everything connected to his life with Melinda. Jack had even used this alias when he went on business trips. He had created a whole second identity to escape his responsibilities, his marriage, and his family. The final piece of the puzzle was when Rachel found a birth certificate in one of Jack's drawers, little Jacob's birth certificate. The child, the one Rachel had seen at Melinda's house, wasn't just Melinda's son. He was Jack's biological child too. Jack had a son that neither Rachel nor Melinda had known about. Feeling the weight of the situation, Rachel took a deep breath. It was time to confront Jack once and for all. On Sunday, Melinda invited Jack over to her house, and Rachel made her plan. She would show up unannounced, expose everything, and make Jack face both the lives he had been living. She knew it was risky, but she wasn't afraid anymore. She couldn't let Jack keep lying to her, to Melinda, or to their children. Rachel parked her car a few blocks away, watching Melinda's house. She waited, her heart pounding in her chest. Then, just like before, Jack appeared. He looked relaxed, as if nothing was wrong. He got out of his car, and just as he approached the door, Rachel stepped out of the shadows. Jack, she said, her voice firm and clear. Jack froze. His eyes widened as he saw Rachel standing there. For a moment, he didn't know what to say, but he quickly recovered. Rachel, what are you doing here? I think you know exactly why I'm here, Rachel replied, her tone cold. You've been living a lie, Jack. A lie that we both deserve to know the truth about. I know everything. Jack's face shifted from confusion to panic. What are you talking about? Rachel, I don't know what you mean. No, Jack, we know everything. You've been lying to both of us. To me, to Melinda, and to your son. You've been living two separate lives, and now it's time for you to face the consequences. Rachel stepped forward, pulling out the evidence she had gathered. She showed him phone records, bank statements, even little Jacob's birth certificate. Jack looked like he might collapse. His secrets, his lies, everything he had worked so hard to conceal were now out in the open. Melinda stood by Rachel, her arms crossed. Jack, you need to leave. You don't deserve either of us. Jack's face turned pale. He opened his mouth to say something, but the words failed him. What could he possibly say to explain his actions? Everything he had done had caught up with him. Rachel turned to Melinda. You don't have to deal with this anymore. You and Jacob deserve better. Melinda nodded, tears in her eyes. I trusted him. I thought he was a good man. But now I see the truth. Rachel felt a strange sense of closure. She had never imagined her life would take this turn, but now she knew what she had to do. The next day, she filed for divorce. It wasn't just for her, it was for her kids, for the woman who had been betrayed, and for herself. She wasn't going to allow Jack to continue to destroy lives. News of Jack's double life spread quickly. He lost his job, his friends, and his reputation. His double life was exposed to the world, and his web of lies was finally unraveled. As for Rachel, she moved to a new city with her children, starting fresh. She knew that sometimes, it was through heartbreak that you found real strength. She had faced the truth, and now she was ready to build a new life, one that was honest and free from the chains of Jack's lies. Melinda, too, moved on. She raised Jacob on her own, vowing to never let anyone deceive her again. As for Jack, he was nothing more than a name, a distant memory of someone who had once been part of their lives. And so, Rachel and Melinda found peace in their own ways, while Jack, left to face the fallout of his choices, learned the hardest lesson of all: betrayal always catches up with you.